banking is one of those businesses where people make decisions with their heart rather than with their minds. When people will choose to be your customer or not to be your customer.
Yes, I see.
There's no real process. I guess what is important is a reputation.
Yeah.
So the older banks had been around almost 100 years. And this was a startup. And to convince customers, both individual and corporate, to become customers was always uphill. But I was fortunate enough to have a very solid management team that the market had confidence in, and we then built a brand from virtually nowhere. And we went into listing to move away from individual or single entity ownership, because in a bank you do not require a tycoon factor.
It's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing to have a tycoon factor, because then it gives the impression that the tycoon is calling the tune and maybe making very bad decisions. And so we went through the listing process, and from there we grew from strength to strength. A lot of banks in Zimbabwe did collapse. But what we learned from that was that the banks that were collapsing were the banks that were run by owner managers. It's very difficult with money. As an analogy, it's almost like getting a hyena to look after a butchery.
It can't happen.
You see, to separate that this is stock, I don't have to eat it, and this. So owner managers, this is why there are all these governance issues coming from the regulators, that banking managers must be professional managers. People that are looking after the interests of shareholders, the interests of employees, the interests of customers. Not their own personal interests. So I'm glad to say FBC has survived the test of time, and it's one of the biggest banks in the country. It's one of the most trusted banks.